と思って。でもう片付けてちょっと私に拭いて前にで椅子の後ろのおもちゃも片付けてもらいました。こういうのだったらねいいでしょう。
This drug, T20 and Fubertide, is actually synthesized chemical. So it was quite a kind of a tour de force to get it done. But you can imagine that if somebody needs 36 amino acids synthesized in an FDA-approved way, you must be a little bit desperate to get drugs to inhibit HIV. And that's actually the case. We'll see when Fubertide came out, it was sort of in the development of drugs. So, okay, once we get inside, what happens next? Here's a step called uncoding. Have you ever heard of this step before? Finding good. Reverse transcription, you've probably heard of that. That sounds like an enemy. What does uncoding sound? Uncoding sounds like, we're giving this lecture and it's cold outside, you got to take this. It's a very poorly described step in HIV infection. And if it wasn't so critical, absolutely essential, and as yet undruggable, if it wasn't so important, I wouldn't have even mentioned it. But it's the steps in which this core, which was inside the virion, starts to come apart and reverse transcription takes place. Now, why is it so important? And that's here. Once again, it requires interactions between viral and cellular factors. There's a protein called GAG, which makes up this the core. There's about 3,000 molecules of that group antigen that surrounds the nucleic acid. And the first thing it does in some cells is interact with a host innate immune molecule called TRIM5-alpha. TRIM5-alpha, in the right circumstances, binds to those GAG molecules, perhaps as a surface and not as an individual molecule, and prevents the uncoding process from occurring. In an unfavorable circumstance, the TRIM5-alpha no longer can recognize that GAG surface, and the uncoding takes place and the virus replicates. And here's why I wanted to mention it, because it is so critical to HIV replication. This comes under, for the want of a nail, or generals are always fighting the last war. If you look at 3 different species, humans, chimps, monkeys, each one of them has their own TRIM5-alpha survey the inside of the cytoplasm of its infected cells, looking for viruses that are coming and prevent that virus from replicating into the cytoplasm. Okay, so here are 3 different viruses. First, HIV. Remember, I mentioned that the chimp has a virus. It's called simian immunodeficiency virus. And I mentioned one that affects monkeys, simian immunodeficiency virus. In human cells, HIV infects just monkeys. The chimp variant infects just monkeys. The monkey variant infects just monkeys. Because each one of those cases evades TRIM5. Once we're on TRIM5, when you go to the chimp, HIV infects just monkeys. And now we got chimp virus infects chimp cells, no problem. The monkey virus, it isn't just the very if you look at monkey cells, HIV it has got TRIM5-alpha variant. The chimp virus a little bit, obviously the monkey virus can infect the cells. But if we had the monkey's TRIM5-alpha, 37 million people would be infected with HIV. There would be
てよね。私見てたし、よかったから。それね、まだ見てよかったね。とかって言ってたから。でも、すぐ自宅に出してね、そう、でもさ言うんだけど、なんかな、そこは、変に処理しないでね。だから上には、水のところで溜まっててもきれいにやってないわけだから、私がたまにね、ベランダ、家でも朝、昼でも、一番朝起きて一番最初に見たい。行動とか階段のところの本当に隙間から来てこうそう出るから誰も通ろうとしないよね。もう本当に階段とかなんかもう高いところに上げて、上からだけやったよ。石垣がダメだったんだってね。トイレ出てたらすぐにやる。
Once the uncoding takes place, the next step in HIV remediation is reverse transcription. So this is a central event in virus replication. Its name is shows it to be different from and what it basically does is take these two RNA molecules here in red and convert them into two now DNA molecules, here complementary, here identical. And the gymnastics that it takes to do that, not to mention, realize that in making this reverse transcription, what we have to do is start out with a terminal repeat and develop a long-term, moving our poly-A signal to the 3' end and the promoter to the doing so. There's a number of gymnastics that we can go through, but it affects the way you guys think. So you know, sometimes cDNAs come out funny. Here's one of them. Once the reverse transcript is constructed, it has to be integrated into the host genome. The integration process is initiated by an HIV gene product integrase. See above about concrete retrovirologist. And basically what it does is, first of all, nix the ends of the DNA that it just sequenced so beautifully, take out two nucleotides to make it sticky, cut the host DNA and integrate it, and fill in the last steps of those two nucleotides. Actually, it's going to be 5 nucleotides with HIV to make an integrated profile. You integrate this process, starts it off, but it needs a DNA repair. Once the host DNA is present in the host genome, the enemy is within, and it will probably be very difficult to inactivate that genome. But I put these both on the same slide because we have wonderful drugs now for both to inhibit reverse transcription and to inhibit integration. As through this general So, reverse transcriptase, all those molecular gymnastics are quite important. Let's get for a minute and just summarize what RT does. It takes RNA into DNA. It's an RNA-dependent DNA molecule. To make that second strand of DNA, it has to get rid of that first strand of RNA. So, it does that with an RNase H enzymatic activity. So, with It can make DNA out of RNA. It can make DNA out of DNA. The only thing it can't do is make RNA. It can't It makes mistakes. Oh my gosh, it makes an error. Its error rate of somewhere between 1 and 4 errors per 100,000 bases. We think, I wish I could make that many mistakes, right? Or so few mistakes. But when the random of DNA we use our one error in 90, 1 in 10 replication rates of the virus. Rapid replication error translates into genetically diverse virus. See what? That's not a product of just a crummy enzyme that's left over from the RNA during the course of recombination across by strand. So if you encapsulated different RNA molecules, recombination that certainly occurs in humans. So if we think of the things that we have issues, right? We have drugs against HIV, we develop resistance. We have an immune system. A much maligned, actually quite effective immune system. In each of those cases, the virus is able to evade immune surveillance and drug selection, as long as the drug selection is successful. In each of those cases, it ignites the immune system, drives a mutation, and now we have 3 members in our population using 2 This and so it could be to have an inhibitor. There's a series of them now. This year, it may be the best antiretroviral that we others have developed. And that's because resistance develops when a drug is developed sweetly. It's now preferred regimen for therapy of HIV, and it's being rolled out in sub-Saharan Africa. Those 20-something million individuals saw that first half of I would say about half of so that very step the virus is integrated in the genome, the enemy is within it, and everything else that happens, whatever factors are available, now it applies to the HIV and activated the program. So it's just carrying out the program that was already existing in the infection. So transcription takes place. Some of this requires the participation of a host viral gene. Transcription requires collaboration with a viral gene. So in every case, every step of the way, there's interaction with the virus. But here the emphasis is clearly on the virus. The RNA translated just like every other RNA gets to the surface of the cell using pathway regions. The S3 pathway exists in the cell. It takes them out, cutting it through the cell membrane with the accumulation of RNA, viral protein, and then one final virus-mediated event when the virus finally buds from the cell membrane. That's not a plan to prevent virus replication. HTLV. It seems to be relatively endemic. It's sort of the, I don't know, it's the yin to the age of, you know, that they're going to protect so you can't lie if you have
思ったわけね。そしたら、で勝手に思ってたわけ。そんなうちの子が勝手なんてずっとね、いや、どうすると思って。なんかダクシーみたいなのをぶら下げるのがある。それを3年目くらいに出したんですって。で、妹が言うのは私はいいんじゃないかと思うっていうことをね。で、そんなことがあって、でもすぐにそんなことにしたけど。とかって、で、いらないでも僕が言うから言うことだし、いらないんじゃないの任せるかってことないけど、使ったってね、で、いや、子供しっかり忘れてたけど、仕事にはこの子で送ったんだよね、さっきね、今言ったんだけど、じゃあ、上手だと思うけど、わかんない。また住所に備えられてますね、あれだけどね。そう、もうね、もうそんな感じで、でも、ね、子供たち少ないし、もうそれこそね、昔と違うんだから、それでも、それで行きなきゃって言われて、あんた来なくていいよって言われて、思いじゃないし、とかって言っても、なんか、気になっちゃって、要するに、みたいな、どっか行きたいっていうのがあって、それで、24日って言ったら、25日から、そうなんで、一泊の、アウトドア的になんかどっかでも同じことになってて、で、あの子たち中旬だと思ったみたいで、どこかの気になっちゃって、あれ、こんなにね、もうやらせてあげなさいって言っても、大丈夫よ、全数来ればって言われて、それで結局、まあ、娘にも、もう多分ね、みんな最後になんだろうから、あれで、私は一緒ぐらい。行ったなと思うけども、ね、おばあちゃんにないともよかったらね、向こうに、お姉さんはいいよ、連れてこいって言うけど、ね、お姉さんなんてちょっと昔の、まあ、病気のね、とかね、とにかく親が言ったらあれだけれど、ね、気使わすし、で、まあ、で、また、下の娘にも、お茶くれる声かけたら、まあ、ピッチャーの人みたいな感じで、だから一族私であれだよね、ユニバーサルスタジオ見たいよって話が増えたらでも行きたいって言ってたけど、前はほら道後温泉工事の時に曲とかじゃないからね、で向こうで何泊したってね、帰ってご飯見つかっちゃうで、あれやってるけどでも民宿は嫌だと思う。民宿もなんか恐ろしいくらい、トイレもなんか外トイレがないのか。 かみんなで。でそしたら向こうにうち主人は全然知らなかったから、あそこに貸してそしたらパッとあったんですよね。私が節約で向こうに車でね行こうとか一緒に乗ってそれで主人は嫌だったのに、じゃああんただけ新幹線で行こうって言って。下の娘に私車は嫌だって言ったんだけど、節約のために車でね行ったら、まあ確かに荷物もねそのまま運べるし時間かかってもあるし見てるけど、娘が上の娘がすぐ運転するんですけど、お母さん恐ろしいし、私がたまに運転しちゃってそれがよく恐ろしいわよね。で結局カップがあって、飛行機で全部それまだまだはっきりは決まってない。通学っていうのはキャンプで。それは交通費は自分たちが出さなくちゃいけないと思ったのか、そういう車だと安くつくからって言って、で沖縄に一緒にいた時はそれはほらホテルがねそうやった交通費は出したってことがあるので、でも主人に言ったのがね、こっちが頼んだわけじゃないけど、こっちが出さなくちゃいけないから。最後かもしれないしね。主婦は自分じゃいけないので、私の場合はUHJ なかったから、またなんかいろいろ新しい娘が三段何もアトラクションがなかったので、面白くなかったし、無茶なので、時間のことも理解感が減ったって言ったけど、本当に何もないってみんな言ってて、ただ見たら時間まあどうなるかわかんないけど、下は安いまだ
and it's at that market where people pick up whatever it is, moving it on, whatever. But from either capturing it, shoot it, or chopping it up, and perhaps preparing it, you can be exposed to other bodies. And it's that exposure that's thought to represent the transmission. If you look at all the different kinds that are humans now, you can use chemoinformatic techniques, Bayesian analyses, to trace the origin of these viruses. Thought that they entered the human population not in the early 1980s when the epidemic exploded in the United States, but probably much further back, and perhaps in the period that goes back to the global era in Africa in the late 1800s. And so the transmission by blood, body fluid, transfusion, vaccination, iatrogenically spreading the virus from mother to child and spread. But those are the biologic ones. There are non-biologic ones that also probably participated to the transmission of the, or to the development of the epidemic. So these things will get the virus into the human population. What gets it to be an epidemic? Let's face it. As I said, primates for the longest time. How come HIV, how come we got this much in the last 100 years or so? And that's probably because of so here's a map of Africa. And then here, number of different countries that have interests there. And then finally, what happened over the course of a very short period, the late 1940s to upwards of the 1970s, when all of these countries really became independent. And this period included a lot of political upheaval, population movement, malnutrition, and malnutrition is, for an ID guy, is immunodeficiency. And so relative immunodeficiency in populations may have contributed to the spread of the virus. This was probably an important factor. Here, across the bottom is year the 1900s to 2010. Here, the human population in millions in Africa, and you can see a very large bump from below 10 million to over 100 million in less than about 30 years. And this great increase in population probably contributed, knowing that the spread of HIV in Africa is not because of MSM. There are equal numbers of men and women with this disease. So whatever got you this many people, also got you exposed to HIV. And then finally, the development, really the industrial development of Africa. This is something called the Trans-Africa Highway. And along this highway are the east to the west of Africa are places where refuel, hotels, or how did it get into the United States? It looks like some very detailed analysis that the virus didn't come directly from Africa, but perhaps made a stop in Haiti. So the viruses in Haiti during the 1980s are older than the viruses in the United States from the same period. So there was a lot of different actions between Haiti and Central Africa, and they were thought by those means. In the United States, here's an old CDC map. Each of these yellow points represents about 30 cases. This is 1983. There were about 1,000 cases reported of AIDS in the United States, AIDS being the advanced disease. And here, later, it's gone up a log. So 1,000 to 10,000. In 4 years, another log to 100,000. You can see, like flying over the United States, places of high population. By 95, 6 years later, log. So you can see that big increase, 83, 85, 89. And now here, 6 years later, we only get a half a log. In the United States, there are probably only about 1 million, 1.1 million cases. So the epidemic occurred, the epidemic spread occurred in the 1980s. The transmission is still men who have sex with men, heterosexual about 30%, and IBDU about 12%. Importantly, out of those areas of high population growth, 12% of cases are less than 50,000. Women now comprise 25% of all AIDS cases. How about therapy in the last 2 or 3 minutes? This was a side of a bus when Terry was in high school in the 1980s, and so this was designed to try to get tests. The point was, if you get the AIDS virus now, you and your license could expire at about the same time. There was no therapy.